Well, hey there. So it's time to pot up our tomato plants, and so that's what I'm doing here. And I was going to show you what works for us with potting up tomatoes. We do this every year. This is the first year though that we're going to use these uh, uh, peat compostable pots. And what you'll do, we usually use plastic pots, and we take the plant out and have to wash the pot and everything like that. But these pots, you just plant the whole pot, and so when we go to planting, and we'll show you that when we do it, we'll tear the bottom of it off so that the roots can grow down, and then put the whole thing in the ground. And so we're doing tomatoes today. I think if you look at the playlist, you'll see where my bride did some cool weather crops earlier. Tomatoes are a lot more resilient than cool weather crops. As a matter of fact, if I'm not going to ask you to try to look at this, but if you look at the tomato stem, it'll have a ton of little hairs on it. And all of those little hairs are the potential for a new root. And so when a tomato vine touches the ground, it can sprout a new root from those hairs. And so what we do, we try to plant the tomatoes as deep as we can. I'll show you how I do that. I am a little rougher with the tomatoes than we are with the cool weather crops because of that. And so right now, I've already potted up some, but this is the last set of our spoon tomatoes. They're little bitty tomatoes, maybe just barely bigger than your fingernail. And so you can see I've just pulled them out of the cell, and I've got two plants here. I'm going to tease them apart to get them separated like that. And then I've got one plant, and I'm going to take my thumb and put it at the bottom where the root is, and take the pot, and I'm just going to push my thumb down into the bottom, and that's going to pull the whole plant in. And now you saw how long that plant was, and now it's just barely, maybe a ½ inch sticking up above the soil line. And so what that did, it put the majority of the stem underground, so that as that little plant starts growing, he'll send out roots from that stem. You see how tall this one is? This is the bottom where the roots are, and there's where the leaves are. These are true leaves. And I'll put him down in there, push him down with my thumb as far as I can. And actually, I can use a little more soil in this one. And maybe a ½ inch or so is sticking up before the leaves. They're about a ½ inch or an inch. And so that's how you do potting up on tomatoes. We will keep these down here under the light. It's somewhere around 40 degrees outside, so it's too cold for them. And then as the spring moves on and it warms up, we'll start acclimating them to the outside, meaning I'll set them outside in the morning in the shade and let them have the bright sun, not direct sun, in the shade. And then, as a few days like that, they'll grow on. And then after, for us in Zone 7B, after April 15th is when we'll put our tomatoes out into the ground. So thank you for joining us on potting up tomato plants. That's what works for me mostly.